In Unit 3, you'll learn how to understand a text containing special terms. We'll take a look at what this reading skill is and how to apply it in the Paper 1 exam. Why do we need to understand texts containing special terms? In the Paper 1 exam, we may encounter texts about specialized subjects, which often contain special terms or jargon. What reading strategies can we use to understand texts containing special terms? There are 3 strategies we can use to understand a text containing special terms which are unfamiliar to us. They focus on understanding contextual clues to figure out what the unfamiliar term means. First, we should focus on the why, not the what. When we read passages for the Paper 1 exam, our reading objective is to understand the overall idea, not necessarily the technical parts. So, focusing on why something is being said, as opposed to what it is, can be helpful when we encounter unfamiliar jargon. Second, if an unfamiliar term appears many times in a text, you can use all the available contextual clues to piece together what it means. Finally, sometimes it may be helpful to make reading notes on a paragraph or passage with a lot of special terms. The reading notes can help you highlight important details or jot down key words or phrases. Now let's try using these reading strategies to understand a text containing special terms together. Here is a short passage from a text about a character in a TV show. Let's say that oppressed, which is outlined in orange, is an unfamiliar term. Even if you don't know what it means, there's no need to panic. We can still use the reading strategy of focusing on the why to understand this passage. To start, we should read around the unfamiliar term to find contextual clues. Here, they have been highlighted in orange. These contextual clues tell us that the society is a strict one that women cannot escape from. These clues tell us why the writer has used this word, to describe the kind of society and conditions women live in. So, even though we may not know what oppressed means, we can figure out why the writer has used that word, and we can still understand the idea of this paragraph. Now let's look at another reading strategy we can use when we encounter a text containing a special term. Here is a passage from a different text about startups, which contains a recurring unfamiliar term, entrepreneur. This word appears in 3 different paragraphs in the text. Let's use a reading strategy to figure out its meaning. In order to do this, we need to look at contextual clues around each of the instances where entrepreneur is used. We may need to read the sentence before or after the one where the unfamiliar term appears to find these clues. In this example, some of the contextual clues are highlighted. In paragraph 3, we know that Gary V is an entrepreneur, and that he is also an angel investor who works 18 hours a day. So according to Gary V's example, entrepreneurs could mean people who work very hard. The second time we encounter the word entrepreneur is in paragraph 8. From the contextual clue in paragraph 8, we know that entrepreneurs have employees of their own. This contextual clue tells us that entrepreneurs may be some kind of boss or the owner of a company. Now let's take a look at paragraph 10. This paragraph tells us that entrepreneurs do not necessarily have to work extremely hard. When we combine this contextual clue with the clues from paragraph 3, we know that although Gary V works long hours, this is not a requirement for being an entrepreneur. Taken together, these clues tell us that entrepreneurs are likely to be the owner of their own company, and that some of them work very hard. Let's take a look at another reading strategy, taking reading notes. Here is another passage from the same text. Taking reading notes is helpful for passages which contain many unfamiliar terms. The unfamiliar terms are outlined in orange and the reading notes are in blue. Names have been circled and the main points underlined. This makes it easier to refer to them when we come to answer questions. The unfamiliar term venture capitalist has an asterisk next to it because we are unsure about what it means. Let's say that we are also unsure what rank-and-file workers means. If we have underlined the key points of this paragraph, then we would know from the contextual clues that have been underlined that rank-and-file workers refers to ordinary workers, such as the pregnant driver. Here's another example. Exploitation is an unfamiliar term. We can see a contextual clue in the previous sentence, that in the past, workers went on strike to secure better conditions. From this clue, we can infer that exploitation probably means bad conditions. Let's see how we can use these reading strategies to understand a text containing special terms to answer a reading comprehension question on the Paper 1 exam. The question here is, what is the role of a venture capital firm? Line 18. Here is line 18 of the text. Outlined in orange is venture capital firm, which the question has asked us for more information about. Let's look for contextual clues to help us answer this question. This means we will read around the word to see if we can get more information about its meaning. One contextual clue can be found in the same sentence. In the show Planet of the Apps, the app developers compete to win funding from a venture capital firm. This means that venture capital firms can give funding to app developers. From our reading of the contextual clues, we know the answer is, it provides funding for business ideas, startups, or startup founders. Here is another question. What is a dead-end job? Line 1. Let's go back to take a look at line 1. The term we need to define is outlined in orange. Let's look for some contextual clues. This paragraph describes the features of a dead-end job. First, we know that office ladies face extreme sexism and harassment in the office, so this could be the meaning of a dead-end job. The other contextual clues tell us that office ladies are assigned simple tasks, like making coffee, and are prevented from getting pay rises and promotions. This could also be the meaning of a dead-end job. Let's get back to the question. Based on the contextual clues and the available answers, we know that the answer to this question is that a dead-end job is D, one that allows no career development. If you are able to find contextual clues correctly, then you would be able to answer this question. Now it is your turn to try using this reading skill to answer some questions. Use your reading skills for understanding a text containing special terms while reading this text and see how quickly you can answer the questions below.